3, 2, 1. It's day 645 of quarantine.
Last time it was like 700, though. That's wrong.
We've gone back in time to find a cure. It hasn't worked.
No.
This is Mad Max Struggle City. It's Casey and Miss, and Dave's in the wasteland looking for petrol.
No, he's really just getting his hair cut.
He also may be dead. Rip Dave.
He's not dead. I just talked to him 2 seconds ago.
He could have died. A lot could have happened in 2 seconds.
I suppose.
Anything could have happened. Watching shitty horror movies this entire quarantine has taught me anything. Literally anything can happen to you at any moment.
But that was a good segue there.
That was an amazing segue. I'm on
It was.
fire.
You're on point today. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because I had a feeling that you were just going to be like, I hate the world today.
Well, yeah, but like then I bought a movie and I started drinking, so I'm fine.
Ah, there it is. All right. Well, did you have any specific horror movie in mind that you would like to start with?
Not really, but I just kind of wanted to talk about the genre because, like, I don't think I have such a love-hate relationship with any other genre like I do with horror.
Okay. Right. Now, I know what you mean by that. Like, the horror movies nowadays, except for, like, you know, the diamond in the rough here and there, they kind of all suck.
Well, I think at that point they're more than just a diamond in the rough. They're just a diamond. They may be in rough. But no, I signed up for Amazon Prime recently. Not for like the delivery shit because I don't order that much stuff, which is kind of a lie because I have stuff that I just ordered sitting behind me. There was free stuff that they were offering via Twitch for Doom Eternal, so I got that, and I'm like, oh yeah, they've got movies. Let me check out their movies. It's a really good library of stuff, a really good library of movies and TV shows, and boy, there's some good stuff on there, and then there is garbage on there.
Yeah.
And then there is the sub-basement where they hide the worst garbage.
Okay, so in general or like just with horror movies?
I've really only been dicking around with horror movies because like that's just been the mood I'm in. Because I signed up for Prime and then I resubscribed to Shudder, which is nothing but horror movies. It's a cultivated and carefully selected library of horror movies. It's not just any shit.
Right.
That's where I'm watching good stuff. That's where I'm watching stuff of reasonable quality. Amazon, goddamn.
Yeah, right. Okay, so out of all of the ones that you've watched, which has been the most ridiculous one?
Oh, most ridiculous. Hang on, let me look up the name real quick.
Okay.
Because this movie was, I watched it with Jenny, and this was some fucking dog shit.
Where, like, you're laughing about it, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was so bad, in fact, that I recommend you go watch it.
Oh.
Because it was that bad.
I do really like the, like, really bad horror movies, too, because half the time I want them to be serious, and then the other half of the time it's like, no, these are just fun.
Okay, here it is. From 2013, Monsters of Carnage, Dino Beast.
Oh, that already sounds bad.
Yeah. So, like, it's your parents' sex tape video quality. Like, they busted out like the big ass VHS tape recorder. And it's like half of a small podunk town in Virginia got together and wanted to make a movie.
Okay.
But nobody knew how to act or write or produce or direct.
So they don't. Okay. Yeah.
How to use a camera. And like the basic plot was there's this monster that comes out of the woods every couple of years to rape and impregnate girls. Which, hang on, that happens a lot in monster movies. Like that is a
I thought you were gonna say in life.
That is a popular subplot. And only once did I kind of like it because the monster baby at the end made me giggle because it looked like a dipshit Muppet.
Well, I mean, it's easy though to like go for that because obviously like everybody is afraid of rape, like real rape, unless you're the rapist.
Well, like, here's the thing too. Despite the fact that it's happened in maybe like a third of the horror movies I have watched,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still surprised because I can't believe this keeps happening.
Yeah.
It's like watching America's Home Videos and just like on the 30th guy getting hit in the nuts video, like you can't believe it's still happening.
Because it's still quote entertaining. Like that keeps people interested because because it's sex.
No. So
how much have you had to drink, dude?
2.
Really?
2.
Okay.
I'm also very tired.
Okay.
I'm overtired. I'm big cranky like a toddler, and I'm drinking. So
a little bit. Okay, that's fine. I was just curious.
So another one of those types of horror movies was what was it? The Blackwater Vampire, and it's found footage of these people going to investigate a serial killer, and then finding out that oh no, it's just like this bat creature, this bat boy.
Bat boy.
Yeah. And
so like a vampire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like the first, I'll say 40 minutes of it is pretty good. Up until they show the monster. And they show him by having it hang upside down in a tree. And mind you, found footage. So this is supposedly just like with somebody's handheld camera. They do this crazy Hubble telescope zoom on its face.
Okay.
And it just breaks the illusion.
Oh.
And it doesn't look good. It's not a good monster.
Ugh.
So then,
that sucks.
Yeah. And then the rest of the movie is kind of funny because then it abducts a girl and then she just shows up naked 10 minutes later and you're like, well, I know what happened here.
It's not hard to figure out. But again, it always goes back to some type of sex in horror movies. And
not all the time.
A lot of the time, though.
Because it's like a fun way to kill time, and it's like a good impetus for murder. Like if you look at Jason, if you look at the Friday the 13th movies, sex is the reason Jason died because the camp counselors were all fucking.
Right, but see that like in that portion of like a horror movie realm, like that's fine to me because that makes sense. Like that was key to the story.
Right. It's a MacGuffin.
But like,
it's a good MacGuffin.
Right, but everywhere else, it's kind of like, did you really need this, or are you just trying to secure our attention? Yes. You know? Yeah, exactly.
It's absolutely both.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's a secret third option where the director went to see some tit.
I mean, I'm all down for that. Like, that's fine. Sure. Never gonna say no to that.
Yeah, but yeah, Blackwater Vampire was the one with the Muppet baby monster. Because like the townsfolk get together and they kill the kids except for monster baby mama. Yeah, and then they have like this weird birthday party for the monster, for the baby monster.
What? Why?
I don't know.
The hell?
But like that kind of saved the movie because, like I said, the first 40 minutes good, and then the next 20, or no, next 30, I just like kind of zoned out for.
Right.
I've seen it a million times. And then Muppet Baby Monster, and that was kind of great. And it's got a little birthday cake and.
Oh my god, that's so bad.
That was fine.
Oh, good lord. Has there been like a movie though that you've actually thoroughly enjoyed in terms of like not having it be ridiculous?
Out of the stuff I've been watching lately?
Yeah, like on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of stuff. One of the things I watched recently was a movie called First Redeemed, or shit. Oh my god. First Reformed.
Okay.
Came out a couple years ago, and it was not like a horror movie per se. But it's about a priest fighting with losing his faith.
Oh, that's kind of
his sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so priest in like this little upstate New York small church meets with one of his. What's the fucking word? I haven't been to church in so long. I don't know the terminology.
Well, you'll burn when you go in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
this is why we need Dave.
So he's meeting with one of the congregants, played by Amanda Seyfried.
Oh, I don't like her.
I do.
Figures.
I like her weird fish face. Meets with her, and she's like, "Hey, do you mind talking to my husband? Because he's kind of on the verge of becoming like an eco-terrorist crazy person."
Oh, good.
So, the priest goes to talk with him, and they talk, and it doesn't go well. And then cut to like 20 minutes later, the guy texts the priest to meet him in the woods.
Because that's not shady.
The priest goes out to meet him, and all he finds is a shotgun and a headless corpse.
Oh my god.
The guy blew his brains out.
Dude, that's actually like so dark.
And then, so he's talking to Amanda Seyfried about it. And she's like, "Hey, he also made a suicide vest. Do you mind hiding it?" like a suicide bomb vest.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Didn't even use it. What a waste.
So here's where it gets crazy. Because it goes from like a dark character drama to borderline horror. Because around this time, the priest finds out he may be dealing with some kind of cancer.
Oh.
And then, like, him and Amanda Seyfried start a romance together.
Of course.
Which is doubly weird because, like, she's pregnant and he's a priest.
So he's not even allowed to have a relationship.
Yeah. Well, no, he's like a Jesuit priest. So I think that's a different set of rules for those guys.
Oh, okay.
And then he does like weird detective work and finds out like the corporation that's like polluting the waters around the town was the corporation that the dead husband was trying to blow up.
Oh, okay.
And the head of this corporation is going to be at the little church for its like bicentennial. Okay. So Ethan Hawke, the priest, dons the explosive vest. He puts on the explosive vest because he has to go into the church and like do a sermon. And then when he sees Amanda Seyfried go in there, he's like, "Shit, I can't do this." Scraps the plan, takes off the vest, but then wraps himself in barbed wire.
Oh,
like it's fucking Silent Hill.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
It sounds like so much in one movie, though. Like, it sounds like you're putting, like, 2 movies together.
It felt like 2 movies.
Yeah.
It did, but, like, the tonal shift wasn't jarring, and it felt like a natural course of events because you're so closely following the priest.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of better, then, that it still felt natural. Because, like, I hate when movies do that, when it's like, okay, I don't understand what is happening right now.
Yeah. That was great. Watch it. I recommend it. It's intense. It's weird.
It does sound both of those things.
So like that's one of the gems that I did come across, but that's like a legit gem. That's not like a B movie gem.
Huh. Okay.
I probably hang on because I've been obsessively rating the stuff I've been watching.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I can find one of the gems that I did genuinely enjoy.
Okay.
So talk while you're doing it while I'm doing this.
So. Okay, so you said that you wanted to talk about like the genre in general.
Yeah. Because it's like I said, it's a love-hate. It's a really complex love-hate relationship with it. Right.
So then if you were to describe like your ideal, like what like the ideal horror movie genre should consist of, like what would your must-haves be?
Just a good fucking story.
That's not even like the bar is so low.
Like that because it's not about the effects. Because I've seen movies where they're effectively effectless.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't remember the title of it, but there was one found footage Bigfoot movie that I watched across the river.
Okay.
And it's you don't see a Bigfoot.
Yeah. So you never see the monster.
You never see the monster, but it's there just through a quick shadow here and there. And
right.
I think maybe like the only big like showing of the monster was a quick flash of an arm coming through a tent.
Okay.
But it was just so quick it didn't even register. Yeah, so like effects don't really count for much. But like
Unless they work with suspense like that, because that was suspenseful. And I know you don't like either Jaws or Signs, but because of the suspense of not, do you do?
I like Signs up until maybe about 45 minutes from the end.
So like halfway through.
Yeah, like once like the siege on the house starts, that's when I get bored because it stops being interesting.
See, that to me was like the scariest part because you don't, like, you know, it's the fear of the unknown. Like you don't know what's outside and what's going to happen.
No, but you know what's outside. You know what's going to happen because these are familiar story beats.
But we don't know exactly what they look like. We don't know exactly why they're here or what they want, how they're going to kill you, what they're going to do.
Well, you were told what they want. They want to conquer. They want to take stuff.
They want to take all the stuff.
Okay, so here's a quick hot take for M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Okay.
My personal favorite, and I'm willing to argue a little bit that The Village is his best one.
Village was good, but that was suspense.
That was suspense. That was excellent suspense.
Right, and I think that's a key to a horror movie.
That was excellent suspense. That was excellent scoring and excellent acting. Yeah. And set pieces were fantastic.
And they weren't too much. It was just kind of, like there's not so much in it where it's like, okay, wow, you really put everything into this. Like I feel like I have to like it just for that now, you know, like there's no pressure.
The only film of his that I can distinctly remember a score. That beautiful background of stringed instruments.
I don't really remember it that well, but
I think it was actually nominated for an Oscar, the score.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it didn't win, because otherwise you would know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But, you know, basically going back to my point of, like, you know, you don't see the monster until, like, the near end, but you see, like, little glimpses here and there, so it's like, it teases you.
But you can still show me a monster. You can still show me a monster, just make it interesting, make it unique.
Okay. That's fair.
You can show me a Bigfoot, but just show me like something different. I forget the name of it because I've seen so many of them. But there was one movie where this group of hunters is being like hunted by a Bigfoot, and it's wearing other animals. It's wearing like a ram's skull and shit like that.
Oh, ew,
that's cool.
No, it is. It's just like it sounds scary.
Cool. To me. You don't see that because usually it's just like Bigfoot hanging out there with his dick out.
That could also be scary.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Bigfoot dick cheese.
Ew. That's so nasty.
I think we found the title for this episode.
I'd click on that. Because there were some horror movies that really like stuck with me, like recently, like Hereditary was so good.
Speaking of Hereditary, the 3-hour director's cut of Midsommar is being released.
Oh God, I still need to watch that.
And I have my copy en route.
Of course you do.
So excited.
I don't think I can watch that because I like after hearing you talk about it and then seeing previews, like I really did want to watch it, but then I went on YouTube and like watched a couple clips here and there, and it's like, oh God, this will fuck me up. I don't wanna.
Yeah, do it. Watch it.
But see, like that's the thing where like there's two different ways of being fucked up though from horror movies, in my opinion. And there's the right way, which would be like with Midsommar and Mother and Hereditary. Although Hereditary didn't really fuck me up. But Mother did for sure.
Mother was great.
And then, oh my God.
I wouldn't even call that horror.
What? Yes, it was. I mean, it's under the horror genre. What the fuck would you call it?
Psychological drama.
No, it's not a drama.
I mean, yeah, religion's involved, and that's enough to qualify it as horror. But it didn't feel like horror to me.
Not until, like, the very fucking end.
That was a goddamn roller coaster.
It really was. But that in itself like taking you for that much of a twist and turn. Like I think that works really well in a lot of movies. But like even with like the monster films, like the one that you had me watch recently, it was called Sweetheart, right?
Oh yeah,
on Netflix. And the monster for that was really cool, but not only that, it was like
you barely
pretty
saw
realistic.
It. Yeah.
Well, no, and I like it being realistic, like because life is scary, and I like I don't know. There was just something about like the realism to it, and the monster looked cool. And,
oh yeah, they did a fantastic job with it.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned Sweetheart because I was just thinking about that movie the other day.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because
why?
Well, I just random things at work will pop into my head, and I was just thinking about the use of silence in movies.
Yeah.
And
okay.
how the strongest point of that movie wasn't the monster; it was just the lack of dialogue.
Well, yeah, because she's by herself most of the time.
Yeah.
Which the whole premise for people who are listening is that she gets stranded on an island and she's like by herself and she's trying to survive, and then this monster comes every night and like fucks her up.
It's like this ugly shark man, Pokemon looking thing. It's fantastic. And
she takes the head with her. Like she defeats the thing.
Yeah.
Which was cool because well yeah, there's always spoilers on our channel. But like half the time I feel like when people win against the monster, it's kind of like a cheap cop-out kind of way. Like in World of Worlds, when they died because they got sick. Oh, that was stupid.
No, that's fine.
That was dumb.
That's like the one thing I'll give the remake over the original is like it gives you a better explanation of how they came into contact with the viruses and the bacteria because they were drinking the blood of people.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah, in the original, they don't do that. They just kind of show up and they start blasting shit. Like, you need to be now. But yeah, for Sweetheart, it dipped severely in quality once those other people showed up. And dialogue started to happen because the dialogue wasn't very good.
Right, but it goes back to that idea of isolation because being alone is scary.
And plus, considering the other movie with a lithe fishman and a nubile young woman, it could have ended much differently.
It could have.
They could have been fucking.
And I'm so glad that they did not. Because that was stupid.
Shape of Water 2. Fish Dong Boogaloo.
Gross. No, thank you. So then what do you think of like all of like the classics, like the classic monsters? I know you talked about Jason. What about like Freddy and Michael and Leatherface and all that?
Freddy's fine. The only Freddy movie I actually enjoy is the first one.
Okay, that's fair.
All the others are really kind of goofy, and I appreciate Robert Englund and his just complete embrace of the character. Because it's been him for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Nightmare on Elm Street just didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Halloween movies don't do it for me because Michael Myers isn't frightening to me. He's just like a giant mute stabby boy.
He never dies. I mean, none of them ever really die, but like that just irritates me. Like that's annoying. You know?
There's nothing supernatural about him. Well, did you ever see the third one, Season of the Witch?
I don't know. There's so many of them, and that's the thing that I hate about some horror movies too, is that like they'll just keep making like so many of them, and it's like enough.
So the only ones I did enjoy from the Halloween series is the first one, and then Season of the Witch, and that's a weird one because it tried to basically reinvent the series by having it be like, oh, it wasn't Michael Myers per se, it was this mask that was developed in a government lab because they were dicking around with stuff they shouldn't have been dicking around with.
Are you serious?
And there's like other evil masks and shit.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's good.
No, that sounds so dumb. Oh my God, that's awful. The whole thing with Michael Myers is that he was fucked up and he was like a serial killer.
No, it was a mask. It was an evil mask.
No, it was the kid.
It was the evil wooden Loki mask that he put on at night, and then he went to the club to harass Cameron Diaz.
No. Her smile freaks me out. Her smile could be like its own horror movie. Well, I saw for the first time, this was probably like over a month ago now, and I remember telling you about it, but I saw the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre for like the first time. And it was so good.
That's great.
It was so much better than I was thinking it was going to be, and it was so realistic.
Did you notice that there is essentially zero blood dropped in that movie?
Now that I think about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was good because it's like, it's not just trying to shove in your face like, oh, all of these things are supposed to be scary, so let's put blood and guts and all and gore and all of that. And the chasing scene was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. The scene
like,
where
it went on
he
forever.
drags her down the hallway and then he's just in the room and you just hear the door slam and her screaming is fantastic. It
really is.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked seeing him put her on the meat hook. Like, that was pretty disgusting. And then when whoever other main character like comes in the house looking, and she ends up in some other room, like where all the bones and like the chicken, and I was like, this is so disturbing. Like, what the fuck?
Great.
And then the end when they're like trying to get the grandfather to kill her, that was bizarre. But she made it out of that, which I was shocked by. Like, a couple times, like, she escaped, and I was like, ooh, you're actually fucking smart, which is nice because I would really appreciate if more people would be smart in horror movies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to see you trip over nothing and
run. That's the early days of horror when the final girl had a lot more power.
Yeah. And I like that. But now people just want to see, like, you know, all this gore, and I'm all for gore, but
it's boring.
I like it.
There's only so many times I can see I can tolerate seeing sausages being pulled out of a painted trash bag that's supposed to be a torso. There's only so many times I can fucking tolerate that.
Well, okay, so there's times when, like, they do it really well and it looks real and it looks scary and it's like, oh, human torture porn. And then there's other times when it's like, wow, this is pathetic, and like the director knows it's pathetic.
Right.
But that's what makes it fun.
It doesn't even necessarily have to look real, again, with the effects. It just has to be sold.
Right.
I need to see that everybody in that room believes it's happening. Right.
Well, did you watch Terrifier on Netflix?
No.
That was fun.
No.
That was such a fun, stupid horror movie. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard at a horror movie before.
You should watch Dino Beast.
I want to, yeah.
It's horrible.
God. Yeah. It sounds both good and bad.
Yeah.
But I think horror is kind of the only genre that can get away with that, being both really good and really bad.
Yeah. It's also got maybe one of the most diehard fan bases I've ever seen for anything.
Besides Rick and Morty?
No. I said diehard, not stupid incel baby boy bitch people.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I didn't even watch the new season of Rick and Morty.
You should.
Kind of over it.
No, you should. It's great.
All right.
It goes back to the absurd, and the episode where they basically recreate Terminator but with snakes is great.
That was a fun movie. But that's not really a horror movie though, right? That's like an action movie.
It's a little bit of a horror movie. The Terminator's completely unstoppable.
Well, I mean, it probably drew a lot of women in that first scene where he comes out and he's just butt naked. That's a nice scene.
But it's Arnold, and his face looks like it was carved out of ham.
Oh, God.
Like, yeah, he's buff as shit, but he's also like 5'5", and he's a little stupid.
Yeah.
Did I mention the face that was carved out of ham?
I like him, though. He's a decent actor. Okay. All right.
Did you ever see Twins? about Junior.
That one, I remember that. Oh my god.
That's a legit horror movie.
That was a great movie. I was so excited when he was the one to get pregnant. That was awesome.
What the fuck is wrong with you? It's a great movie.
Listen, I also think The Room is a great movie. So.
No, what's the? Oh no, Kindergarten Cop is a legitimately good movie.
Yeah, that was cute. I like that. I don't even remember what else he was in because like The Terminator was his big thing.
Predator.
He was in Predator. Oh
he was
my
in
God,
the first
you're right.
Predator. He's also in a terrifically fun and campy action movie called Commando.
I saw that.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Really?
Yep. Oh, it's so purposefully stupid and unnecessarily violent. I love it.
So you would rather see like this unnecessary violence than unnecessary gore?
Only for like action movies, because that's where unnecessary violence is meant.
Right.
Like you can have gore in horror movies, just use it well. I don't know.
So then you're not a.
It's like having a dick. Just use it well. Don't just stick it everywhere.
But that's what boys do when they're younger.
Not true.
So then you're not a fan of like any of the Saw movies then, because that's all they are.
They're so stupid.
I love them.
They're so stupid. And like the storyline and the universe makes no sense to me.
The first one was legitimately good. The second one was okay, and then the third one is where it's like, all right, you're done.
But then, in like 5, like is it Saw 6 or 7? You find out like Carrie Elwes is one of the main architects behind everything.
Yeah, it's like the last movie you saw that, and I was shocked.
It's just stupid.
I thought it was great. Like, why is that dumb?
It makes sense.
Yes, it does. He was the first one ever to survive the game. So naturally, he was going to take over.
Why naturally? What the fuck does that mean?
I actually don't know why he didn't go back for the other guy. Was he a criminal? Maybe that's why.
Who? The other guy?
Yeah, who ended up dying in the bathroom.
Oh, fun fact about that guy. That was the writer of the movie.
Really?
That's Lee Winnell.
He did a good job acting. I liked his acting.
Because he wrote that. He wrote, I think, the first Conjuring.
I remember being really scared of that movie.
First Conjuring's good.
Yeah, but then again, like they have like 6 sequels to it, and it's like, all right, enough.
They have 1 sequel to it and a spin-off, which has 3 movies.
Well, right, though. That's what I'm saying, because the spin-off was Annabelle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to watch a fucking movie about a possessed doll.
What was it? It was the sequel to Annabelle, but it was just a prequel where you find out how the doll gets made. It was one of the funniest things. That's annoying, too. Yeah, it was one of the funniest things I've ever watched.
Why?
Because it was so absurdly stupid and poorly done. But I will give it this. There's a decently shot scene where like the possessed little girl, her eyes start glowing yellow, and then she backs up into a dark room, like a pitch dark room, but you can still see her shadow. Okay. And as she gets more and more into shadow, her form starts changing into something like demonic.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
That was the one decently done scene, and then the rest of it was comedy gold. Because, you know what, tell the truth, I barely remember the end. I remember that scene, and then like the protagonist is this little girl in a wheelchair, and she just gets the shit kicked out of her every couple of minutes.
Oh, that sucks.
Because it's like this house of orphans, and they keep getting picked off one by one. And then I think somehow she gets like wheelchair gets blamed for it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but it's like, how could she have done it? She can't even go upstairs.
Right. Maybe she's faking it. Like, she can actually walk.
What does she have to gripe about? She gets the best parking spots.
Oh my god. Jesus. Okay, so like, what did you think of okay, so if you had to categorize all of like the horror movies that are out there that like everybody knows about, yeah, so what of those, what ones would you say are actually like good enough to be considered like true horror?
I honestly couldn't tell you. It's been a while since I've really ever paid attention to like mainstream normie stuff.
Yeah.
There was one I was very interested in seeing, and it was supposed to have come out in April.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can tell, that didn't happen.
Right. Well, which one was that?
It was a movie called Antlers about a teacher discovering that a student in her class, he is kind of taking care of his family that's become Wendigos.
And he isn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Somehow he's not.
Okay.
Because I saw one trailer and I stopped watching them because I heard subsequent trailers revealed too much, and I wanted to be surprised because I don't know what the monsters look like. I wanted to see them.
Right.
Well, because like with Wendigos, it's kind of just like very thin, very gaunt, and there may be antlers involved because there's usually some deer iconography involved with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew nothing about it, and then it hasn't even gotten like a home streaming release date as far as I know.
That sucks. Yeah, COVID has really just thrown everybody off.
Yeah.
But like I think
don't even say the It movies.
No, I liked them. I did, but the second one, like of the new series with Bill Skarsgård, the second one was just not that good.
That was a mess.
Right? Like there were parts of it where it was like, oh, okay, this is good. Like this little chunk here.
Quiet Place 2 was supposed to have come out, right?
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
And that didn't.
What is that even gonna like look like? You know, like there was only a couple of the monsters left and they had the shotgun, so where are you gonna go with that?
There was a world full of them.
Guess we're gonna travel to that world. But that's what they did in Aliens too.
But no, you're still like Earth is still infested with them.
I thought there were only 3 left.
No, like the entire Earth is infested with them.
Oh.
Because they came to Earth via meteors.
Okay.
Because they're just like a stupid video game boss monster. They're invincible except when you shoot their big flashing weak point. I hated that fucking movie.
To be fair, though, like those monsters were pretty different looking. No?
No.
You didn't think so?
No, they look like...
I thought they were...
They look like a combination of the Alien Queen, the monster from Cloverfield, and a piece of dried dog shit.
Well, I thought they also kind of looked like the monsters from Stranger Things.
Oh, what, the Demodogs or the Demogorgon?
Yeah, the Demogorgon.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Also, fuck that show.
I thought you liked it.
I tolerated it, and then I'm just like, I'm really bored of it because the kids on the show think they're hot shit because they're on a Netflix show.
That's natural to think that.
They're not good at stuff.
They're good at acting.
Have you seen the show?
Yeah, and I liked it. You try to act then. Like, it's not an easy thing.
I act every day.
That went dark. God. But no, I think I would say like the first Halloween, the first Friday the 13th, maybe the first Child's Play, but like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But the effects on it were not that good.
No, they're great.
Like, they don't hold up.
They're great. No, they absolutely hold up.
No,
Fun fact about Child's Play: the Chucky animatronic, like the Chucky doll, is the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. Just with like melted shit pulled over its face.
Fun facts with Casey. I'd say
all of them.
Well, I'd say The Ring. I thought The Ring was pretty good.
I've only seen the original Japanese one, and that is very creepy. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just didn't like the reason why you had to like make a copy, otherwise you were gonna die. Like that was stupid to me. Like I get people want their stories to be heard, but I don't know, like it just didn't seem good enough. Yeah, like you had to make a copy if you watched it, and if you didn't do that, then you were gonna die.
Pirating can save your life.
Yeah, apparently. That's
funny. Save a life, pirate a movie.
But I'm sure there's other Rings too. Like there's probably like 4 more Ring movies.
There's Ring 1, there's Ring 2, and then the original Japanese is Ringyu. And then they did a really dumb one where it was, because in the original Ring, the girl's name is Sadako, I think.
In the Japanese one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's Sadako. And then, so you know how like we did Freddy vs. Jason?
We didn't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, like
America?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant me and you. Like we never talked about that.
No, like Freddy vs. Jason was made, Alien vs. Predator was made. So Japan, they made Sadako vs. Kayako, which is the girl from The Ring versus the girl from The Grudge.
Oh.
And it's bad.
Most of those are, though, to be fair. Like,
it is dumb.
I never saw The Grudge. How was it?
Again, it's fine. It's kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fucking remember. Because it's like, why? Because it's like a dad goes crazy and kills the wife and son, but I forget why. But like,
because he went crazy.
I forget why he went crazy. Like, he either caught her cheating or like she caught him cheating, and then whatever it was, like, it was awful enough that the severity of the crimes left the imprint on the house, and that's The Grudge, and that's why shit keeps repeating and people keep dying in it, because it's just the deed done in that house was so evil and awful.
I wanted to ask you, and I forgot about it until just now, but like with the idea of remakes in the horror genre, like, do you think any of the remakes are ever better than the original?
It depends.
Okay.
Well, that's tough because it also depends on the original source material, like how good that was, how good or bad that was. Because I feel like instead of remaking good movies, we need to redo bad ones. Yeah. Because Fright Night, one of my favorite vampire movies, got remade a couple years ago. And admittedly, the remake's not bad. It's not necessary, but it's not bad. Right. But then you see the remakes of the classic Universal monster movies, like the Wolfman, the Mummy, and those are bad. Those remakes were terrible. Well, they did a remake of Poltergeist, and it was so bad compared to the original. And the original is fucking awesome. The remake had one neat idea. Again, going into the realm? Yeah, where they used the drone. Hi, cat. Yeah, where they use the drone and they go into the ghost world. Even though the ghost world looked like a shitty, like, Dreamcast game. Yeah, I wasn't a fan with how it looked. No, that was fine. That was, like, one fine thing about it besides Sam Rockwell. And that's all right. He was the dad. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's a very good character actor, and I like him a lot. Yeah. But like, I stay away from remakes if I can. Yeah, I don't blame you. But sometimes I like to watch them just to be able to compare them to the original. Like with Poltergeist, I did that. With It, I did that. But the It remakes hold up
compared to some other ones. You know what I mean? Like, you can watch that and be like, yeah, okay, this was actually pretty good.
Well, it had millions of dollars thrown at it, even though at some parts you couldn't really tell.
Yeah, that's true. Then I feel bad for, like, the actors who are in horror movies who are, like, the monster, because they have to, like, really get, like, all made up, like, all done up, you know? Like, I don't know how long Bill Skarsgård had to sit in the chair and get his makeup on, but I imagine it was kind of a while.
Hours.
Yeah, like, that's a long time. Skylar, can you not?
But she can.
I know. She wants to play with the thread that I have. And it's like, you have a million toys. You can go play with one of those.
Don't withhold that thread from that cat.
She doesn't want the little pieces that I don't need. She wants the big ones.
You give that cat what she wants.
No. What were other remakes?
Specifically.
Oh, like specifically horror ones. Like the Carrie remake. Couldn't even watch it. Like, there's no way that.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. There was no way that could ever stand anywhere near the original.
And that's a shame, because that had, like, really good actresses in it. Like, it had Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore's great.
Sure, okay. She's fine.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah, The Hills Have Eyes had a remake.
Oh god, that was a bad movie.
The original or the remake?
I don't know which one I saw.
Because the original's the remake's pretty faithful. They change very little.
I don't know which one I saw.
Oh yeah, Dawn of the Dead. That's the Zack Snyder one is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I still prefer the original, but like the Zack Snyder one's fine.
Okay.
The Thing. Well, yeah, one of my favorite horror movies ever. The Thing is technically a remake.
Yeah, but that was done well.
That's done excellently.
I didn't like the end, but other than that, I liked it. It was just the end that pissed me off.
Oh yeah, The Fly.
Didn't that have Jeff Goldblum in it?
It did. In all of his Jeff Bloominess.
Yeah, I didn't really like that, but it was well done.
It's disgusting.
It is, and that's part of the horror.
Mm. Oh yeah, the movie's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
Compared to the Vincent Price one.
I don't even remember the premise of that movie.
A scientist turns himself into a fly accidentally because he has this scientific MacGuffin transport pods that let him move a thing over there to the thing over there.
Mm.
And he decides to do it with himself, but a fly flies in with him.
That's right.
So he gets spliced with the fly.
God. It's such a little mistake too, and such a detrimental.
But the makeup is excellent.
Yeah, the makeup's cool.
And like he goes to the bathroom, it's like this is my little museum of what used to be me. It's his fingernails and his teeth and shit.
Oh right? God. Oh.
What else was there? Oh, Evil Dead was remade.
I don't know that one.
It's fine. I like the remake.
Yeah.
I like the remake enough, but the originals have too much sway in my heart.
Right.
Suspiria was a remake. I don't like the original all that much, but the remake is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. Oh yeah, I Am Legend was technically a remake.
Was it?
Yeah. So the first one, the first attempt at that story was with Vincent Price, and that was called The Last Man on Earth.
Okay.
And that's a good movie. The scoring and atmosphere in that are great. And then we have Charlton Heston in The Omega Man. Not good. That was not good.
No.
And then we get Will Smith's I Am Legend.
Well, what did you think of his?
Stupid.
That's what I had a feeling you'd say.
Really fucking stupid.
But it was fine. It wasn't the best thing ever, but it was good.
I kind of laughed when he had to choke out the dog because that seemed ridiculous.
Why on earth would you laugh about that? That was upsetting. He had to kill his own dog, his last friend.
I didn't find it upsetting because, like, dude, that was your fault.
Yeah, but like...
That was your fucking fault, dude.
But that sucks for the dog.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway.
There's another one I can't fucking remember. There's another remake that's fairly... Oh, yeah. There's a Swedish vampire movie or book turned movie called Let the Right One In.
Okay.
And then that was brought over here as Let Me In.
Okay.
And that's about a young boy befriending a young girl that he discovers is a vampire.
Okay.
It's not as, like, cheesy as it sounds.
Yeah, because it does sound pretty cheesy.
Yeah, because, like, the girl vampire travels around with her Renfield, who's basically a pedophile.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, no, because how else can she get around, without suspicion? Like, she has a father figure with her. And
right.
It just so happens he's a pedo and she's eternally a child.
Okay.
It's great. It's an interesting look at friendship. It's an interesting look at isolation as a child and friendship.
So out of all of, like, the subcategories in the horror genre, I'm guessing that you like the monster movies the best.
Oh yeah, I love monster movies, but probably my favorite genre out of horror is found footage. Because that's
okay.
like, it's a weird way to phrase it, but to me it's like the purest form of horror.
Yeah.
To be there.
That's a fair point, and I see where you're coming from. I think it has to be really well done, found footage, for me to enjoy it, let alone tolerate it.
Very much the same way.
Yeah, but I really like the psychological horror movies.
The second I hear music that's not coming from, like, an organic source in a found footage movie, right. I get mad.
Yeah, because it shouldn't be there.
Yeah, like, unless you're in a mall or somebody's iPod is going off, I shouldn't be hearing music.
Right. Sky, are you going to come sit with me or not?
Kitty cat.
God. She just wants the string.
Just give her the string, you monster.
No, I'm making a picture.
No. What are you building, a fucking ark? That was not that funny.
That was so fun. Dude, okay, side street. I was over at Joe's last night, and we went to Wawa, and I ended up getting a Reese's. And so I was eating the Reese's in his bed, and I just put the wrappers in his bed because I was going to throw them out when I was done.
You're a fucking raccoon. You throw those out into the trash can.
I was sitting in his bed, and the trash can's, like, way over there. Whatever. So, he decides to get in bed with me, and then we were gonna, like, cuddle and just watch videos on our phones, and because he saved some for me on iFunny, and I saved some for him on TikTok, and he went to move the covers, and when he did that, the wrapper, only one, but one of the wrappers from the Reese's flew off the bed. And for some reason, that was so goddamn funny to me that I laughed about it hysterically. I'm not kidding, for like 10 minutes. And as soon as I would calm down, I would just start back up again.
You have issues.
I don't know why.
You have
I really
issues.
like I even started, like, choking because I was laughing so hard. Like,
okay.
I have no idea why. But that was just really funny to me. I laugh at the stupidest shit.
We all do. I'm not gonna say I'm above it.
Yeah. Well, did you have any other points on horror movies that you wanted to make?
No, I feel like I hit all my. I feel like I hit all my things. I don't know. Like I said, it's such a love-hate relationship, and out of anything I watch, I'm usually the most critical and strict about those.
Yeah.
Because jump scares are garbage. Stupid
They're
gore
easy.
is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I just give me like a good, interesting story and passable performances.
What about the idea of tragedy? Like, do you think tragedy enhances a horror movie?
It really depends on the tragedy, because otherwise it can either like actually add to the story or just become a laughing point.
I don't ever think like that can become a laughing point.
Oh, actually,
Skylar, you're driving me crazy.
I can think of a movie
Hmm.
that actually touches on such a thing. Let me pull up the title real quick.
Okay, because I know you laughed at Hereditary when you really shouldn't have.
Well, that was like, I didn't know how else to react to that little girl getting her head blown off by a telephone pole.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, what else can you do but go, oh.
You can do what everybody else in the theater did and just drop your jaw.
I did, in laughter.
Oh my god.
So like the basic premise of this one movie is that a bunch of friends are going out to a house in the woods after the main character and his wife get into a car crash and they lose their soon-to-be-born baby.
Oh.
But then, so he loses an eye and he implants a fake eye with a camera within it. So that's how you're getting all the footage, which is a fun idea.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes back later on because the trip that they're on takes place 10 months after that accident.
Okay.
And that wife is fucking ready to make another kid.
Yeah.
And the husband's like, no, I'm still not over this. I'm still not over losing the one we never had.
Yeah.
And she gets pissed at him. She gets furious at him and storms off. See, like things like that, and I was just kind of flabbergasted because it was believable enough, but at the same time, it was more ludicrous than, oh, yeah, everyone's about to get abducted by aliens, which happens.
Right.
But like
things like, sound really sad though.
It's not sad, but it's just like that's a bit of tragedy, and it kind of added to the story, but only for that moment.
Right.
Because then
so it wasn't like the whole thing.
Hmm?
It wasn't like the whole thing.
No, but it was a theme because you find out that the alien was chasing the dude because he had like its egg.
Okay.
And the egg had the baby in it, and the movie fell apart there for me.
Yeah.
Everything leading up to that was fine. But then but like I said, just that one scene where the wife is losing her shit because she wants to make another baby and she's mad that her husband's still in mourning.
You can't be mad at somebody for that, I feel like.
She was fucking mad.
Well, obviously.
Screamed at him in their underpants and then ran into the bathroom and slammed the door.
And probably cried the rest of the night, right?
No, I think that's when she got abducted.
Oh, good. Okay.
No. That was a little bit later on.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, tragedy like that is goofy.
Yeah.
Because it feels real, but at the same time, it doesn't feel real. Stuff like Hereditary feels real. Stuff like what happens in Midsummer, it feels real, and that drives the story along.
Yeah. I'm still too nervous to watch that.
Watch it. It's on Prime.
I know it's on Prime. I debated watching it one night.
Watch it, you coward.
I am a little bit of a coward.
Watch it, you coward.
Yeah. That's kind of all I have about horror movies.
I love them and I hate them so much.
Yeah, the older ones tend to be better than the new ones because they understand what suspense is and how to actually capture an audience without technically using as much sex as the new ones use.
The sex isn't even like an issue, really. It's just make it interesting, make it at least creepy.
Mm-hmm.
You can have sex in it, just make it fucking weird.
Well, like in Rosemary's Baby, for example, that was a good movie. That's a good one. And you know what? You never even see the baby.
No, but the sex scene, and all she remembers are the eyes.
Yeah, and then she's got the scratch marks all over her. While a bunch of naked people are chanting around her. Oh, it's bizarre.
As you do.
Huh?
As you do.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Do that on the weekends. Some people might. I don't know.
Oh, all right. So speaking of weird sex stuff, real quick.
Okay.
I watched Hellraiser for the first time the other night.
Okay.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm surprised you haven't watched it before.
Because it looks stupid.
Yeah.
And I was right.
Yeah.
And as I'm watching it, I just kept getting more and more stressed because it kept getting dumber and dumber. Like some of the effects looked pretty good. But then it's just like it was stupid. It was just There
was something about a box, right? Like she had a box. Like I don't even remember.
The story is that the girl Kirsty. Not Christy, Kirsty, because that's a very like 80s, 90s thing. Her uncle finds this puzzle box. He solves it, but then gets abducted by this race of interdimensional creatures called Cenobites.
And like a Cinnabon?
Yeah. And then they like torture and fuck him so hard and like in such a crazy fashion that he's so beyond pleasure and pain. So then he somehow comes back after his brother buys his house and then bleeds in the attic. And then that somehow brings back the uncle. But he's just like a big fleshy monster man that has to eat other people.
This sounds so dumb. Like, what?
And then Kirsty finds the puzzle box, solves it, and she tells Pinhead and the other Cenobites, like, nah, fam, you don't want me. You want my uncle, because my uncle managed to ditch you and escape. And Pinhead's like, you're fucking lying. I need to hear this shit from him. So she just tricks her uncle into saying this, and then Pinhead comes back and does stuff to him.
So, like, their whole purpose is that, like, oh, we're going to give you this puzzle box, and if you, well, not give it to you, but you know what I mean. Yeah. And if you solve it, then we get to come take you and have sex with you. And then...
They're not even having sex. Like all they show is, like, him getting pulled apart by hooks.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So like, sex and torture.
Right, because it's Clive Barker, whose, like, forte is sadomasochism and horror and some occult shit.
I would say that would fall into that category. Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's all he ever does. Like, he's a one-trick pony.
I mean, he's probably better than Eli Roth.
No, they're about the same.
Eli Roth is like a disgrace to me in a horror community. Like, he's just disgusting. Like, he just does shit to disgust people.
He did what? Hostel. He did Green Inferno. What the fuck else did he? Oh, he did Cabin Fever, which I refuse to watch because that just looks dumb.
Didn't he do Cannibal Holocaust? Or no, that one was...
Yeah, that one was... That's 70s.
Yeah, okay.
Cannibal Holocaust is fucking great.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, that wasn't him.
Yeah, it's what Green Inferno is basically based on.
Yeah, and it was shit. I mean, it was disturbing, but...
That's another movie I had a good laugh at. Because the one kid in it was the little kid from Spy Kids.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Huh, that's interesting.
That's a funny movie.
He was the one who was he was the one who had the idea to, like, bake all of them high, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god.
I think, like, a thing that could have helped Green Inferno, but not fix it, not save it, but help it a little.
Yeah.
Is if it was somehow first person, if it was somehow found footage.
I agree. I think that would be better.
Yeah. Like, that's an easy fix. Like, just, like, attach a GoPro to somebody and you're done. That would have been it.
Yeah, and that would have been...
That would have been slightly more interesting.
But then would it have been, like, the main character, Justine? I think that was her name.
Probably. I don't know. Was she the final girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably then.
Which would make sense, but then at the same time, like,
not unless it's like attached to somebody else and she picks it up for some reason and like puts it on, because that
would be better.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Because you can't exactly have her be the found footage person when like she's about to get her clit chopped off. Because I feel like that's pushing it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was their whole thing. Like, they chose to not kill and eat her because she was a virgin. So we're gonna make her a part of our tribe. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. Like, that's not cool.
Was she like a straight virgin, or like was she like, oh, butt stuff doesn't count?
I don't know. They only ever tested her vagina, not her butt. Do you not remember them like shoving a bone up each of their vaginas?
No.
Yeah.
Wow. So much of this movie blocked out.
Yeah, they line up all the women on like this stage for everyone to see, and then it's like this weird. Hot. Oh my god! But like this weird like bone hook, like it's sharp, and she puts it up each girl's vagina. And to see if they bleed. And if they bleed, then they were a virgin. And, of course, the other two did not bleed, and so they were sacrificed.
I completely forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you didn't even wash it after putting it in each one. Like,
I think the only part I remember is somebody, I think it was one of the girls, got sick from something they ate and she just shit in the corner of a cage.
Yeah, they were kept in a cage.
Yeah, I think that's maybe the only thing I remember.
That girl killed herself because her friend, who was like really like tattooed, escaped and she ran off, but then she got captured later. But the audience doesn't know that she was killed until like everybody in the cage has brought something to eat. And then they find out like, oh shit, we're eating her because here's like a piece of skin with her tattoo on it. And then she like freaks out and slits her throat. Yeah. And it's like, nah, I'm done.
Her body, her choice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other guy was like eaten by ants or something. You remember that? He was like tied to a pole and covered in stuff. Yeah. And like all these ants like came over to him and like ate him.
If it's not Cannibal Holocaust, like the only other cannibal movie I'll go to is a horror western called Bone Tomahawk.
Okay, why?
Because it's excellent.
Okay, give me reasons.
A group of cowboys goes out into the desert to hunt down a group of what they call troglodytes. And they abducted people from their town, so they're going to rescue them. But the lead up to the confrontation with the troglodytes is just this great slow burn of these guys traveling across the desert.
Yeah, I can't do cannibalism in horror movies. Like I can watch it, but like it's so disturbing to me.
It's great. It's why you love Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I did. What would you classify that movie as?
Musical.
Okay. Like nothing else?
Comedy.
Okay.
No. Like it's got elements of sci-fi in it. Nothing in it is like outright horror, but it's mostly sci-fi comedy musical.
Yeah. Okay. That was a good movie until the end.
End is great.
I was really upset.
You were pissed.
Yeah. I wanted him to come back. I miss those days of like coming over to your house and just kind of like having you show me some ridiculous movie and then have my reaction be the complete opposite of whatever it is you expected.
That would really only happen with The Room. Everything else I was pretty confident that you would either like or hate, but The Room legitimately threw me for a loop.
I like doing that though because it's entertaining.
It made me kind of mad because like who has that reaction to The Room? Who watches The Room and go, that was an incredible love story. What a drama.
I just understand Tommy Wiseau's vision.
Johnny almost got the promotion. He didn't deserve this. That whore.
Well, she was. She cheated on him. It broke his heart. It tore him apart.
It's his best friend Mark. I legitimately can't watch that movie anymore. I think I need a good 5-year break from it.
Yeah. I mean, you have seen it a lot.
At least 20 times.
But I remember like holding onto your arm with both hands when he was gonna kill himself. Oh, and just like holding my breath.
You were legit like edge of the seat.
I was nervous.
Why? You knew how that was going to end.
Like, don't you ever get that way with like a movie or a show or something? Like, you know what's gonna happen, but you don't want it to happen, so you're secretly hoping it doesn't happen, even though you know it will.
No, because I'm usually, it's just usually how my brain works. I just usually predict it out, and it happens.
Yeah, you're good at predicting things like that, and so is my other friend Kelly. I'm not. I suck at it. Like, I can never predict the ending.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I predicted that I can remember in like recent times would be in Jurassic World with the first one where they like didn't tell you what the dinosaur was made of, and I like figured out that it was part raptor. But I only figured that out like right before it was too late.
Just lazy writing.
Yeah. So like it was easy.
It's just lazy writing. Like we've already made this dinosaur super smart. It can open fucking doors. It can camouflage.
Yeah.
It can trick us by hiding its body heat. Why not make it part raptor?
Yeah.
It's just lazy writing.
But I got it. So I was pretty proud.
Yep, so proud.
Listen, I'm not usually trying to look for that stuff. I'm trying to just enjoy the movie.
I'm usually just trying to enjoy the movie too, but that doesn't always happen.
No, because you hate everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm gonna make you one of these things, and it's just gonna say, like, I hate everything except for really stupid things, because you like really stupid things.
Do I?
Yeah, you like me.
Yeah, fair. All right. I think we've bled this to death.
Yeah, I think so.
We've bled this topic to death. It's been exsanguinated.
Nice word.
It's a great word.
What time are we at?
I don't know.
Okay, don't you have like a timer?
No, I've actually been looking for a timer.
Oh.
And I can't find the timer because I feel like it's been past 40 minutes.
I think it has too. So is this just gonna like cut us off whenever?
No, because it would give us a thing. It would tell us.
You would think, yeah.
I've actually been looking for a timer for like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. You just want to get off Zoom with me.
Well, yeah, I want another drink.
God. You're lucky you don't have work tomorrow.
I am relieved I don't have work tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dave, you're going to have to edit that out. But keep this part in. Keep this part in. You've tuned in to day 645 of Struggle City, Mad Max, Fury, Quarantine.
Oh my God.
Follow us on the things. We're on things. We do stuff.
Thanks for stopping by the city.
Yeah. But wash your hands. Wear a mask. Stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah, don't be stupid. Because there's a lot of stupid people being stupid about it.
Yeah.